folks, this is Adolf with Balcony Barbecue. Today we're going to be cooking some ribs, some spare ribs at that. Got a couple of racks of ribs in here. They have already been trimmed, St. Louis trimmed, alright? They have not been peeled. For competitions I would peel the back, but in this case it's just for me and my own personal use, so I just score where that would be and it'll burn off itself and I can pull it off, and I like tucking to it anyway with my teeth. So I give a little score with the knife so they can just peel away as they cook. I got some basic ingredients I'm going to put on today. I got salt, lemon pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and some soy sauce. First, sprinkle a light coating of salt on the back side. I start with the back side of the ribs. Bone side, as some people say. Just a light coating. Don't overdo it. Pork has enough salt. Then I add lemon pepper. Light coating. I add garlic powder. Again, light coatings. And finally, onion powder. Drizzle a little soy sauce in the back. That adds more salt to it, so now you know I don't put too much salt. And I go ahead and I just rub them. Nice and seasoned. See, the seasoning goes everywhere. Flip them the other way. Same thing, except possibly because there's more meat on this side, I add just a little bit more salt and all the other ingredients on top. And now I let them sit about 30 minutes to an hour. Some people go overnight. Just depends on how I'm cooking them. You notice I didn't add any brown sugar or sugar of any type, something sweet at this point, because personally I'm a diabetic, so I don't cook with anything sweet. If anything, at the very end I glaze it lightly with some barbecue sauce and let it cook into the meat, and that's where I get my sweetness from. But this is just straight up just regular 5 ingredients in there to go for now. Put them on the pit in a little bit. See you in a little bit. And we're back. Now we're going to set up the smoker and put the ribs on to get them cooking. First of all, I have 4 pieces of hickory chunks inside the lava rocks and the heating element. This is an electric smoker from Brinkman. And I set those in. I plug up smoker. took the middle part of the smoker on and made sure the door is where I can get access later on to add more chunks and to add water as I go. I now add water. I add 1 container of a garden water bottle. This fills it to about 1.5 inches to 2 inches from the top, which is where I like the level of the water. I refill this and I add water in as the cook needs more water. I can add it by simply opening the door, adding water at this point. Now the ribs. The Brinkman has some size limitations, so it's okay to fold the ribs a little. It's all going to cook, especially the thin sides is where you're folding it. Some people have even rolled their ribs, especially when they're baby backs, but I just fold a little bit on the edge. Now I got ribs inside. It goes on. And the smoker is left to do its magic. I'm going to check to see. Heating elements turning orange inside. So it'll be smoking soon. And I'll show you what it looks like as it's smoking. As you can see, it's been about 15 minutes and we got a nice good smoke coming out now. It's not heavy. That's what we want, is a nice thin smoke coming out. People criticize the electric Brinkman smokers because they don't have a exhaust on the top to vent. But they're actually loose on the edges, so that way they vent on the edge. Smoke comes to the top, pushes back down, and comes out the edges. The charcoal smokers need a little tweaking, but these electric smokers, they work great. They work exactly how you need them. As we smoke along, I will add chunks every half hour, probably 1 chunk at a time. People say, electric smokers, oh, set it and forget it. Just add all the wood. Not really. Anyone knows that when it comes to barbecuing, it's all about babysitting. And you don't want to just throw a bunch of wood chunks in. As you saw, I put 4 small chunks. I will add 1 chunk every half hour to keep a nice thin smoke. And then after that, after 2 or 3 hours of smoking, the ribs probably don't need any more smoke at that point, and I'll let them just finish cooking with the water vapor. But I'll show you how I add a chunk in later on.